Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel and welcome to this latest video, which is going to be a Sunday reset. Now I absolutely love a Sunday reset. I think it is just the perfect opportunity to get set up for the week, get everything kind of in order and just, set yourself up for a fabulous week. And disclaimer, my Sunday reset essentially starts on a Friday. But yeah, I'm going to take you through a Sunday reset and everything that I do to prep for a strong week. So the first thing that I tend to do, and I do this on a Friday just because we do online shopping, is on a Friday I will sit down and plan all my meals out for the week. To be honest, we tend to just do a lot of meals on rotation, so they tend to be like a lot of the same things, which makes life so much easier. But yeah, I tend to plan the meals out, and then what I'll do then is obviously write my shopping list from this. And then I will go and just do my Sainsbury's order. So I'll do it for a delivery on a Sunday morning, but obviously to get the slots and stuff, you have to book it at least like a day and a half in advance, preferably like 2 days. So yeah, on a Friday, I'll sit down, plan my meals, write my shopping list out, and then obviously do my online food shop ready for a Sunday morning. What I also do as well, depending on obviously like how much washing and stuff we've got to do, I will sometimes do my washing on a Saturday. So for example, yesterday I decided I wanted to do like the bedding and just like do little bits like that. And obviously we had quite a lot of washing this week, so I did most of my washing yesterday. So again, that is another thing that's obviously been ticked off. There's still a little bit to do today, but like obviously the majority of that's been ticked off, because if I had all of that to do on a Sunday, that would be quite overwhelming. Like, as much as I love a Sunday reset, I also like some time to kind of just chill on a Sunday as well, obviously before you get back into, you know, into life. And another thing that I like to do on a Sunday, which isn't really part of the reset, but is generally just have like a more chilled Sunday. So like, I like it to be productive, but also like a little bit chilled. So we'll obviously do things like put the food shopping away, like obviously do any kind of shopping and chores that we kind of need to do, any cleaning that we need to do. Obviously I'll prep ready for the next week, which I'm going to take you all through anyway. But then I also like to have like a slow morning and just have, you know, like a chilled morning, and then have like a chilled evening, you know, do some nice cooking and things like that as well. So yeah, it's like a nice balance of kind of productive but chill. But I think Sundays are just, they're just, I actually just love them. Like, I think they're just the perfect mix of like everything, just to get you set up ready for a new week. So my food shop has actually already arrived before I've done this intro. So I'm gonna insert a clip now of what I got, and also kind of like, yeah, just putting it away, etc. Obviously what we get is not the only kind of stuff that we need, so a lot of the time obviously that is like the big bulk of it, but then obviously we have stuff in the cupboards as well, we have stuff in the freezer. So I always keep like frozen fruit and frozen veg in the freezer, because you can just throw it into any meal and it is so easy. And then we always obviously have you know, things like sauces and spreads and like seasonings and all that anyway. Like obviously we always have them. This week as well, like we already had like pasta, spaghetti, rice and everything, so I didn't need to buy any of that either. So obviously those things are not every single week that we buy them, but we just buy them when we need to. So another thing that I do with food is I write it out all on our weekly planner here, just because I just find it so much easier to be able to kind of see like day to day what we're having. And then obviously it's just really easy to change as well. So I'm just gonna plan my week. So one of the first things that I do is, well, the first thing is I use this diary, which is literally a game changer. Like, it is, I couldn't live without it. So what I'm going to do first of all, because it is September, which is crazy but so exciting, is write out my September goals. So I've kind of already done them in my notes on my phone, but I'm going to write them out. And then what I'm going to do in the weekly planning section is go through and plan my week. So literally just write out like what I've got on each day, and then you can also kind of like set goals for the week as well. I'm not sure if you can see, is it focusing? Yeah, so then you can basically write out like main work goals, 3 things you'll do to achieve it, main personal goal, 3 things you'll do to achieve it, and then goal setting notes. And then what I'll go and do then is basically start writing out my to-do list for tomorrow. So I'll do my like schedule here, my quick ticks, my tasks, and then my projects, like any notes and stuff here, and then 3 things that are like non-negotiable that I'm gonna get done. So it basically just means that I have like my whole week planned. I know exactly what's going on. I know when everything's happening, the timings of everything, and basically I'm just in control. So I'm gonna get on with that now. There's something so motivating about like September the 1st. Like I love autumn. I'm very much like an autumn gal, so I'm very much looking forward to it. But I just feel like there's this like fresh wave of motivation now. Like it's almost like summer's over, isn't it? And you're kind of like into the next chapter, which, don't get me wrong, I'm not ready for like Christmas or anything, but I am very excited because I am an autumn gal. Autumn is without doubt my favourite season. I just love the coziness. I love the cozy vibes. We reset the kitchen yesterday, we had a little move around of things, and yeah, I'm just ready for it. So my September goals are planned. Now it's time to plan the week. Before I do that, I am gonna start, well, at the same time as doing that, I'm gonna start writing out my new gym program. So I've been doing the same gym program for about 6 to 9 months, which I always switch up like little bits, but the main compounds stay the same. But I want to change my split, so I'm going to be doing a brand new program starting tomorrow, which is exciting. So at the minute I want to get into more functional stuff, so I've been trying to get into more functional stuff, but there's not been a lot of structure to it. Since I finished my reverse, I've literally just been doing like whatever, whenever, like whatever I want, still keeping like structure in my weight sessions, but then not as much structure with like the functional cardio side of things. So that's something that I want to kind of implement now and just have more structure to it. So that's what we're going to plan. Because once I've written this out then, I'll know what my sessions are, which will then help me put them into the week. Right, so I've written out my split, and then I'm going to plan my week and then come back to my program. Because I can't focus on loads of things at once. So I also keep like a notes on my phone of like when I think of like ideas and stuff, obviously because my job is like has lots of different aspects to it. Obviously there's some things that I kind of can think of for like weeks in advance. So I basically have a note on my phone where I write down like all my work ideas. And then I'll also have another note then where I'll basically write down like weekly to do. So for example, if I think of something that's like an idea, I'll put it in my work one. But if I think of something that's like, I need to do that this week, say like I'm out and about, I'll write it in my weekly to do. And then when I then kind of come to like planning, I can then write it in there. And obviously just kind of add to it throughout the week as well. So my notes on my phone are also like just where I put everything. So I'll have like I'll write my food list out on here. Can you see? I'll basically write it on here, and then what I've got down here is like a big list of like meals. So if I'm like running out of inspo, I'll literally just think of them, and then I'll go and write the list on there. Once I've kind of got that on there, then I've also got like a food shop list where I'll write obviously like things that I need to get. So it just means that I can kind of do it all quite quickly. And then what else have I got? And yeah, that's pretty much that. But I have like a note for everything. But I basically use this and my notes just to kind of make sure that everything gets covered, because my brain is just, it's just full. It just goes 100 miles an hour. Okay, so that is my week planned. Tomorrow planned. Obviously, like I go through and I add things and I change things and there's new things that I think of, but this is just to kind of, yeah, get everything out of my brain and onto paper. So now it's time to write my new program.
much written it out, and then what I'll do is I use this app called Strong. So what I'll do is I'll set templates on it. So for example, like this one here, I already have the template for. This one was just one that I was kind of like trialing when I was using a different gym and I had different equipment. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll basically take a photo of this, I'll trial the sessions, see how they go, and then once I've kind of like finalized them in terms of like what feels good and how to do things, and you know, like if they work well together, I'll then basically add them into here. So then what I can do, if you like start it, essentially looks like this. So you can kind of like log everything as you go through. Obviously that's quite a big session, but it's because I had cardio at the end as well. So yeah, so then obviously I'll just be following that. So then the only other thing that's left to do in terms of organisation is I use Google Calendar as well. So I basically then, obviously I've already written out kind of what my week looks like what I've got on, but then I will basically go through and kind of like input it all into Google Calendar just so I can make sure that it all fits essentially. And I know it can seem like quite a lot, but I just find it takes away so much overwhelm during the week. So that is pretty much how I've like blocked out my week. So obviously you don't really want to see it specifically, but yeah, what I tend to do is I like color code things. So like yellows are like my gym sessions, purple are like dog walks, and then what I'll do then is basically just in my to-do list for that day, then I'll basically just write down everything that I've got to do for that kind of like day or within that block or whatever. So I'll look at kind of what my block is, and then obviously I'll write my list then to do with that. So it just basically means I have like a paper copy of everything I've got, plus I have it on here, which basically then comes up on my watch as well, will give me like notifications. And then obviously then day to day I will use this here then to kind of like write out again the plan of the day with my notes and actions and things like that. So I know it seems really like, it's quite a lot, and don't get me wrong, it is, but it just means that I know where I am, I know what I'm doing, and it just helps me to focus as well, especially when I have like gaps. It really does like boost my productivity, because what I was doing was basically like filling my blocks up loads and loads and loads, trying to get loads of stuff done, having no gaps throughout the day at all, and then just completely like burning out, just running over, and then just ignoring my plan completely. Or I would like put in too much in one day and then just feel completely overwhelmed, whereas like it's taken me a while to find out kind of what schedule and structure works best for me. And yeah, this is pretty much it. So it's still definitely like a work in progress, but basically if something like needs to move, things like that, like I'm quite flexible with it. But also then what I'll do is kind of look at like last week and okay, how did that go, like what can I move, what do I not need to move, and then obviously just kind of base it on that then as well. So yeah, so my week is organised, tomorrow is organised, my to-do list is written, my weekly to-do list is, my time is organised, my food is organised, I've got the food shop done, the washing is all done. No, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna literally do 10 minutes now of like admin tasks. It is 20 to 7. I'm gonna do like 10 minutes of admin tasks now, and then I'm gonna prep food for tonight, which I'm gonna do like a bigger portion of. So we've got dinner for tomorrow. I don't tend to meal prep too much just because I work from home anyway. But what I'll do is like if I'm making something, like I'll make a bigger portion on a Sunday to have it on a Monday, or I just basically keep things super easy. So like the most I have to do in the day is like cook some chicken, and then obviously dinner time, then I'll make like a meal. But yeah, that is pretty much that for now. Hey guys, it is now the next day because I completely forgot to finish that vlog yesterday. It ended up being just a bit of a stressful day, just a lot, like there was, I don't even know what happened. But yeah, it ended up being a little bit stressful. So in the evening, I literally just tried to switch off as best as possible. And then yeah, I literally made dinner, got ready for bed, watched a bit of TV and went to bed. So there wasn't really that much to vlog anyway. So I just wanted to kind of like wrap up this vlog with just a few kind of like, just a little bit of a chat I think about like September goals, because I was obviously setting September goals yesterday, and I think goals are so important in order to like have that kind of focus, but also as well something that is really important with them is that yes, you can have like mad goals if you want to and like absolutely do that, but also you have to have those smaller goals, because realistically like big huge goals that may seem quite far away and may be quite unachievable right now are not going to kind of like keep you motivated like day to day. You know, they're not really gonna, like, they may be there but there's not really that incentive. Whereas if you have those like smaller goals to work towards, it can just make your life so much easier, more exciting, more motivating, and it's just easier to kind of stay disciplined and stay consistent. So that is the first thing that I would say with goals. And secondly as well, I think it's easy to look at other people's goals and be like, I want to achieve that, I want to achieve that, or like, well, they're doing that, should I do that? And actually like something I've really tried to work on is just doing what I want to do and what works for me. And I'm not really sure if I've spoken about it on YouTube. I know I've spoken about it on Instagram and stuff, and like but towards the end of last year into like pretty much this year so far, I've just felt not myself. Like I've just felt a little bit lost, just a little bit like not really like sure what I want, and kind of just going through the motions a little bit, and you know, kind of hitting goals and then not really appreciating that, and then just looking for the next goal, and kind of being, you know, constantly kind of almost getting really caught up in like the rat race, and you know, the kind of like the morning routines, and the, you know, I can't even explain it, but I think I was basically like measuring my success based on other people's measures of success. So, you know, I got to a point where if I was getting up at 7:30, I was feeling lazy, the fact that I hadn't gotten up like before then, and it just was making me feel so overwhelmed and so tired, and like I need my sleep, and like I struggle with sleep anyway, and just due to like the way that we live, I can't go to bed at 9 o'clock. Like we don't sit down and talk on 9 o'clock. So for me to be getting up at like, you know, early, it was having like a detrimental effect, and I was exhausted all the time. Like I was losing motivation. I just wasn't like basically enjoying anything. Like work, I just wasn't sure what I was, not what I was doing, but I just felt like this constant pressure to always be doing more rather than just kind of appreciating where I was at. And it's weird because it took me so long. Like I was literally crying all the time, and then it took me like quite a while to just sit down and be like, actually, like, why are you feeling like this? And it did come down to the fact that I wasn't really like living for me. Like I was living through other people, if that makes it, not living through other people, but like basing my own like success and what I do on other people, and kind of, you know, what they're doing and how that compares. And I don't even know what's going on in my hair. And yeah, obviously that would just meant that I constantly felt like I was like falling short of what I wanted to do and what I needed to achieve, and etc, etc. So that's something that I've really tried to start kind of like changing, and that is kind of in line with my like September goals, and for the rest of the year, like that is just to continue to work on that as well. Like my goals for me at the minute are not kind of, there's a few little things that are like going on behind the scenes, but ultimately like the goal for me is to be really consistent with my training, like get back into a routine with my training, get back into routine with just general like my routines that work for me, like morning and evening routines that actually work for me, not what everyone else is doing. And yeah, just continue to kind of like build what I'm building and do what I'm doing, but without that pressure side of like trying to hit the next month or trying to hit like, you know, these big goals, because yes, goals were important, but also like for me it was literally taking the fun out of absolutely everything. So yeah, I definitely had like a lot of kind of realizations recently. I think that I was so caught up in like other people's measures of success that I was literally like fearing going on Instagram, because I was like, oh, like what if I see something that I'm not gonna like, or what if I see something that makes me feel like inadequate? Like it was mad. And then I literally sat down and had a word with myself, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? You know, because I then almost realized as well, I was like, you are literally living the life that you wanted to live. Like you are living the life that was a goal of yours, but you're not actually enjoying it because you're looking so far forward at the next thing. And I think it's so common, and it's something that not many people speak about. So yeah, this is just your reminder that you can slow down if you need to. Like your goals can be whatever goals that you want, because ultimately it's your life, and your happiness and your health and your mental health and your physical health comes before anything else. Like you can make money back, like you can make money, you know, next year, the year after, but it's a lot harder to get your health back if you kind of lose it, or, you know, you don't really look after it and you neglect it. And I think we live in a very like money driven society, I think, and not just money driven, but a very like hustle culture society. And like, you know, you're made to feel like a failure if you haven't got up and, you know, done your workout and done an ice bath and done your sauna or whatever before like 8 o'clock in the morning. Like, you know, if you've not ticked off your whole to-do list by like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, like you're almost like made to feel like you're not being productive enough. And actually, like, it's just bullshit, because like you have to do what works for you. Like some people thrive in the evening, some people thrive in the morning, some people thrive in the middle of the day. Like everyone is so different, and I think that's so important to remember. So yeah, this is just a little reminder that, you know, yes, set your goals, and please do set goals, but also be realistic with them, be kind to yourself, set your like mini goals and milestones along the way, and ultimately just really think about what you want, not what you want based on what you think other people might think, but what you genuinely want for yourself, because that is the most important thing. thing. Like nothing else matters more than that. Nothing else matters more than your health and like everything. So yeah, those are my September goals. So I've obviously got a new training program, which I'm really excited to get stuck into. I'm excited to get kind of stuck into this new routine, because we had like camping, and then what did we have after that? We had something else after that, and then I was unwell, and there's just been like a few things on that have just meant, you know, we've literally, this weekend was the first weekend we had fully at home in like over a month. So there's just been loads of things going on that have meant that I haven't been as kind of like, I've been consistent with training, but not in terms of like structured. Like I've had to move my sessions around and mix things up a little bit, which has been fine, but I'm excited to get back into like a new routine and just really find a new routine that works for me. So yeah, so that is my training plan. In terms of like nutrition, the goal is just keep doing what I'm doing. Like I love kind of fueling my body, but also then obviously just enjoying food. And yeah, in terms of like work goals, obviously they're not really something I'm gonna like share, but I have a few work goals, quite a few, like some big ones, which I'm excited to kind of get working on, but also as well I'm not putting any like, not too much pressure on myself either. And yeah, the goal is to just keep working on me, basically. Keep finding the best version of me. But yeah, that is pretty much that. I don't really know what's in this video. I feel like I say this at the end of every single video, but I feel like I've done a lot of talking in this one. So hopefully it's been of some benefit to you. If you're still watching, thank you very, very much. These are the vibes for this gloomy September morning. Yeah, it is literally the 2nd of September. So obviously when you're watching this, it won't be the 2nd, but it is the 2nd today. It's a little bit gloomy, so it's a gloomy start to September, but honestly I'm such an autumn gal. Like I just love it. Like I'm just so excited for these next few months. Like we've got some really exciting things going on, but also I just love cozy season. I feel like if I lived in a foreign country I would love summer, because I love the sun, but I find in the UK the sun is it's just not the same, is it? It's really, really hot. It gets really, really stuffy. Obviously we don't have like the aircon and stuff that is equipped for it, so like our sleep suffers. And obviously you've got to do like general day-to-day tasks. Like you've still got to work, you've still got to go to the gym, you've still got to do all these things, but in like sticky heat instead. So like I love summer, I do love summer, but autumn is just, it's my season. I just love cozy vibes. I love just getting cozy, cuddling up, wearing the hoodies, wearing the joggers. Like I am here for it and I'm excited for it. But yes, I feel like I've been wrapping this up for about 5 minutes now. But yeah, that is the end of this video. So if you're watching, thank you very much, and I shall see you in the next video.